I'm actually joined by someone this afternoon, more of an expert, and is my former teammate in Hunter. Hunter, how you doing?
Oh, that's bad, mate. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and looking forward to this race because the Hungarian Grand Prix is, well, as the commentators used to say on ITV, it's like Monaco without the walls. But it's more of like a oversized go karting track. Really, there's a lot of turns. It's dusty. It's very hard to overtake on here as well. There's probably one major overtake, and that's into turn one. And the rest of it's kind of like following the leader. As you can see, we're just in the lobby at the moment, and we're just getting ready to get ready for qualifying. Of course, we're going to have Q1, Q2, and Q3. But however, the first qualifying session is more going to be a practice session by looks, as we've only got 14 drivers in, and we've got a spectator in Leclerc. So obviously Leclerc is preparing for this week's Spanish Grand Prix by seeing some tips from the elite guys. So here we go then. You see, we're just taking a look at the track. This track has been on the calendar, F1 calendar, since 1986, and there was a great stat that I really loved about Hungary. It took 20 years for us to have the first race here in Hungary. Now all of a sudden we had a wet race in 2006, 2011, and 2014. So all within like 8 years of each other. Of course, Jensen Button won his first ever Grand Prix here in 2006. Brilliant race because I think he started from 14th on the grid. We also had another classic in 2014 as well, where Ricciardo came through to win. Hamilton started from the pit lane and managed to finish third, I think, in the end. Brilliant stuff from Hamilton there. And yeah, there's been some really good races over the years around here. Of course, the track was modified back in 2003, so it used to be the first corner used to be a lot. This start finish straight used to be a lot shorter, and the fourth corner was more of a never-ending corner. Now it's quite a tight hairpin going into turn one, and of course, and then that extended turn two and into turn three. And of course, DRS zones, there are two around here because you can only fit two. One the start finish straight, and then one coming out of turn one and into turn three. So you see we've got 15 drivers. So as we said, this is going to be more of a glorified.
Yeah, keep talking, but I think something may have gone wrong, so we might have to abort this start and restart.
No worries. That's why Carl's there. See, he keeps him under control. He's always waffling on about the historic Hungarian Grand Prix. And yeah, we'll if something's gone wrong, we'll let you know straight away in the chat. But as you can see at the moment, we're counting down. We got the ultra softs on. We've also got the, I think it's the, is it the ultra softs and mediums, or is it the ultra soft super softs? I think it's the ultra softs and medium, isn't it? They're on this track. Well, we'll find out in a minute. As out comes Lucas, is the first man out. I think he's the only Greek driver on the grid this week in his trusty Williams, as he's just come around turn one, as we were talking about earlier. The turn one was extended back in 2003. Of course, also towards the back end of the circuit as well. I think turn 11 and 12 was extended as well to increase overtaking. Yeah, hasn't really done much, to be honest, around that part of the circuit. If we're just watching Lucas on an outlap now. Also on an outlap is Samster. Of course, he was driver of the day last time out in Germany. What a race that was. Brilliant racing from... I enjoyed the race in Germany. I know there was one or two complaints about driver etiquette and stuff like that, but yeah, it was really good from my point of view. Lucas is out on the medium tyres, as he's just, as we said, it's just more of a practice session. What do you like this track, Kyle? What do you reckon about it?
It's one of my most favourite on the grid. It'd probably be in my top 5 favourites. So it's just that, obviously, I love Monaco is one of my favourite tracks, and obviously, like you said, this is classed as a Monaco with just a bit more runoff. So I do quite like this track.
I was going to say, this track does suit you. It's very technical, isn't it? And it is similar to Monaco. It's a lot of technical corners as well. There's not a long fast corners like, for example, in Barcelona. As you can see, Lucas is coming down and he's just starting a lap. Remember, we got 15 minutes. Unfortunately, there's not really much competition in this first stage of qualifying, as yeah, they're just kind of getting their eye in. As you can tell, Lucas is on the medium tyre. Also out there we got Samster, we got Carton out there as well. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. Hopefully it's just someone getting prepared and warmed up. So at least we've got a healthy grid this time, 15 drivers. And as I said, if you want to join the Elite League, then of course get in contact with the IRC page on Facebook, drop us a line, and if you're quick enough, you'll be here. We'll have a look at the championship in a minute when I get myself organised. Do you want to go through the championship standings, Kyle?
Yes, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm just loading them up. We had a bit of confusion about the C Leclerc. Nobody seemed to know who he was. Well, I think it's been sorted now.
Yeah, Leclerc is in the Mercedes at the moment. He's hasn't come out yet, as Lucas does a 1:23.235 in the Williams, so that's an alright time. As a Samster though goes much quicker at a 1:15. Oh, I love the chrome helmet on a Samster. Beautiful, of course. Remember, he was driving today in Germany. Good stuff from Samster, but I think he would. I think he'd be a lot more. I think he would rather have gone for the winner one, because as we do have some parish notices to give you, which I'll let Kyle do those in a minute, because we've got a bit of a long list of them. We've got 4 guys that have got qualifying bans, so we'll let you know about those in a minute. We got 13 minutes to go. Just having a look at Samster.
Right, so championship standings is Vanquish is still leading by 65 points. I think that's it. 63. I've had a new phone, so I'm not used to it properly yet. But no, it's Vanquish from Slim. Sam's got himself back up to 3rd in the other Ferrari. Karting 4. Hill, I'm just going to call him Hill. In 5th in the Renault. BP 6th. Andy Coe 7th. Lennon Meringue 8th or 9th. Christian Balco 10th. Rockatoni's 11th. Crazy Power 12th. Lucas 13th. Wishbone Danny 14th. Jayla 15th. Effie 16th. Geordie 17th. Kogut 18th. 19th says no driver. And SNRS, I could pronounce it in Austria, I can't pronounce it today.
The Finnish guy, isn't it?
Sorsakaski.
That's a much better pronunciation than I tried.
Wait, he's had 3 DNFs and the rest he didn't race. Then, to go back to the point of penalties, there was a bit of a list today. I think, obviously I was missing last week, but from what I've seen, it wasn't the most cleanest of races. But Geordie in the Renault has received a full qualification ban, so we won't see him out on track at all. Crazy Power and Slim in the Ferrari both received Q3 bans for their accident with each other. Vanquish, the championship leader, has also received a Q3 ban as well. So this could be an opportunity for Sam and Karting. Obviously 1 and 2 in the championship are both going to be starting minimum 9th and 10th. So, and this track is very hard to overtake on as well. So
I was just about to elaborate on that point as well. So it's this, I think this is probably one of the worst tracks to have a qualifying ban, isn't it? It's really going to, those guys are really going to suffer. On board with the Gort now in 6th position at the moment, as Geordie's retired, but that's because he is out of because he's got a qualifying ban, unfortunately. We're just watching Kogut now. He's on the ultra soft tires, just ploughing around with it, coming out of turn 6 and 7, the chicane. See, not much action out there at the moment. We've got the 2 Haas's out there. We got Rockatoni out there, and whoa, and that's Lennon. Lennon's off the track, and he is out. He's retired from the session. That's coming out of turn 4, I think. That is a big blow for Lennon. Massive blow for Lennon. Oh dear, and that means he's out of qualifying. So that's going to help the guys that have got a ban, because Lennon will start from the back of the grid, I believe. Oh dear, that's not good as well. Turn 4 is very tricky. It's one of the few fast corners on this track, and whoa, and we got another Haas in the wall. It's Rockatoni. I'm not sure what Gunther Steiner has done to his drivers today. I think Well, but both horses are in the wall in the matter of in the space of a few seconds between each other. As Rocket Tony has now lost all his front wing, and he'll be returning back to the pits. Now, luckily, this, as we said, this is just more of a practice session than anything else, and he's just recovering to the pits now. So that's a very good time from Sam Sturr, 1:15.5. So that's definitely going to, and the track hasn't rubbered in yet because the track will rubber in as we go along in qualifying. So
that's an immense time. That's a tenth slower than what I'm doing in time trial.
That then in time trial, that's Rocket Tony's going around. He's not got
usually time trial versus quali is about a second. So
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, I was going to say because in time trial basically the cars are brand new, isn't they? There's no wear, there's no nothing. The cars are just at maximum capacity. So that's a great time from Sam Sturr. Yeah, we're just watching Rocket Tony now, just cruise around with no front
I'm watching
legs.
this as well. But at the end of the day, as long as he gets the lap time set, then who cares?
Yeah, that's definitely true. So but yeah, of course, I think this is where his teammate come across her as well, Lennon, who's used to be Lennon.
This is a horrible corner.
It is never ending, is it? Does that hurt the tires? Do you think? Does that really wear the tires down? Is it more thermal degradation around here?
Well, not really. It's the curbs are killer. If they just touch that curb, you do spin. So I wouldn't say tyre wear isn't that much around here. Obviously, it's not the most tyre-friendly track on the calendar, but it doesn't eat them at the same time. So it's more, if you get on a curb, you will either understeer or just go into the wall. Everyone seems to be leaving. We've lost BP and Vanquish.
Oh, that's not a good sign, is it? There's Rocket Tony coming around the final corner, and then Carton's left as well. So I have a feeling that we'll be restarting this section very soon. I wonder if the offender is this man here, Mr. Charles Leclerc.
Nobody seems to know who he is.
So yeah, he's come out of nowhere, Mr. Leclerc has. So which ones we're going to give him some TV time whilst we decide on what's going on here. Yeah, so it's not very tire. It's not too bad on tires. Then what would your strategy be then? Would you try and start on the ultra softs, or would you just prefer to go on the harder tire and go to the end of the race on one stopper? Or you can keep that as a secret actually, because some super drivers might be listening to this. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not gonna say that. Obviously, I'm racing tomorrow night, and I know there's going to be at least 3 or 4 super drivers listening. Not today.
I just remembered that. Yeah. So what I would do, so you can listen to me to be honest, because if you do the strategy I'm going to do, you probably won't finish in the points. I would probably go from soft to medium personally, and just I would go from there. So we're all leaving the session now. We've 6 minutes to go, so we're going to just restart this again. As I think it is this man here, Mr. Charles Leclerc, in the Mercedes. Don't worry, guys. We will get some action going in a second. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, this track is like, it's kind of like a dust ball around here. But this is one of the tracks where the more you go around these, it rubbers in so quickly around here. So the more you go around, it just gets quicker and quicker and quicker. So yeah, the evolution of the track is quite mega around here. And of course, if you want to come here to watch Grand Prix, I know one of my friends come here a couple of years ago in 2015. Ironically, he was sitting right in front of where Hamilton and Rosberg nearly come to blow, and Hamilton dropped right down to the back. Good race that was as well, 2015. But yeah, no, I think literally on the other side of that grandstand is a beautiful water park. So yeah, if you want to, this is one of the better races to come to, because it's usually lovely and hot. And then comes so we're now just going to wait for the verdict, and we'll go from there. Yeah, what did you think of the driver in driving in Germany then? Did you watch the race in Germany, Kyle? Or and if you did, what did you think of the actual driving standards?
I didn't actually watch the Elite German. I was It was a. Where was that? It was a personal law appointment.
No problem.
Obviously, for my back, but no, I didn't. I've seen some of the clips on the reports, but I haven't actually watched the full race.
In terms of the clips, then, and what did you think of some of the driving? Then, did you feel some of it was a bit over the top in terms of people need to calm down, or was it just like fair?
It was a bit argy-bargy.
It certainly was. It was. I enjoyed it myself.
Obviously, the incident with Crazy Power and Slim could have been avoided. I think the Vanquish versus Sam move, it was justified. So, yeah, I think last week was a bit of a.
it was a bit. It was quite entertaining, I must admit, from my point of view. We're now just going to restart the session, so excuse us whilst we get a blue screen on the go. We're going to keep broadcasting, so and we'll continue this discussion of the German Grand Prix in just a second.
I haven't had an invite yet, have you?
I've just had an invite, so I'll invite you now if you don't get one in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, nothing's coming through.
Technical difficulties and all that, I should know, considering I work in IT during the day. Easiest job in the world, turn it off and turn it back on. We're just now getting the second session set up, and hopefully we should be away for this one. We've converted to short qualifying, I believe, so that possibly is the reason why we've started again on the session. I've just invited my co-commentator Kyle with me, so hopefully Kyle's in the session. I can see him in the session.
Yeah, I'm in that.
Nice.
It was also the fact nobody actually knows who that Leclerc guy was. He's not a racer.
So we had a stranger in the stranger in the lobby then. So he did get some airtime there, Leclerc did, but unfortunately he's not an IRC driver. You have to qualify to be an IRC driver, so you can't just come in willy-nilly. So yeah. So unfortunately for Leclerc, goodbye. if you want to join Leclerc, then always yeah, get on Facebook and message IRC. Alright, we're now going to hopefully get into the main event. While short qualifying is just 18 minutes of just going around, so there's no knockout qualifying. So it's and if you're in the top 10 and you set your time on like for example the soft tire, if that's your quickest time, you will start on the soft tire going into the race. So I think short qualifying does.
It's a good idea for only 13 drivers, 14 drivers, but at the same time now I'm going to be confused at how the penalties are going to work.
Yeah,
that's some people have got full qualifying bans and some's got just a Q3, so maybe I'll just double check, but I don't know how the Q3 is going to just turn into a full quali. If it's only a short, it's.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to police that. So yeah, as we said, short qualifying is just one qualifying session of 18 minutes. So as before, so someone like Vanquish who had a Q3 ban, then he would have qualified in Q1, Q2, or if he made it, which I think he would have done, and then in Q3 he would have sat out. So the highest he would have qualified would be 8th, 9th or 10th, because I think we had 3 guys that were that was on a Q3 ban, and of course someone had a full qualifying ban, didn't they? Blimey.
Yeah, Geordie had the full qualifying ban. Slim, Vanquish, and Crazy Power both had all 3 of them had Q3 bans.
Yes, that's exactly right. My memory's getting awful, but that's why I usually have a notepad in front of me, noting all this stuff down. As we're just getting into the lobby, we've got 14 drivers now, and hopefully.
Yeah, it's sorry to interrupt you. It's been confirmed. All the people that had Q3 bans have now got a full ban.
Perfect.
So, the likes of Vanquish, Slim, Crazy Power, and then obviously Geordie won't be out in the session.
So that makes it more interesting for us. Do you think if he was in that position, would you find that fair? Or I suppose it's just how it is, though, isn't it? Because there's no way to police that in a short quali, is it? It's quite a difficult thing to do.
No, it's obviously it was maintained for Q3. There's not enough drivers. There's no point doing it. So yes, they're not going to be starting where they thought, but at the end of the day, there's no point doing a full qualifying session for 13 drivers. So
No,
it's
definitely not.
unfortunate, for obviously for Slim, Vanquish, and Crazy, but sometimes the rules have to be amended to benefit all 13 drivers, and that's been done. So credit to the admins, but
I was going to say that's huge credit to the admins, because I think sometimes in Formula One we do criticise them for not having more of the common sense aspect. So yeah, all credit to the admins, and to be honest, I think that I agree with you, Carl. That's completely right, and it's it may not be the fairest fairest on the guys that got the Q qualifying bans, but I suppose really you shouldn't got a qualifying ban in the first place. Maybe that's harsh.
exactly, they can't really complain about it. They unfortunately did the actions in Germany, so they have to face the consequences for it. You know, if it's a no footage post or if it's for causing that accident, they can't complain. Obviously, it's been shortened for a reason. They've just got to pick themselves up, get the strategy ready for the race, and just try not to repeat what they did last week.
Exactly, and also, to be honest, from our point of view, that makes a much more exciting race. So, to be honest, I might sound a bit biased here, but I'm actually quite happy about that. So we're going to
overtaking on this track is so hard. It really is. This is two overtaking places, maybe three if you're really brave.
Yeah, I was going to say
if you want an automatic qualifying mod.
To be honest, I think that there's only one really safe overtake, and that's in turn 1, isn't it? Really, I wouldn't really dare go anywhere, try and overtake anywhere else. We've got Sam Sturgis flying out the pits. We've also got McLaren coming out as well. I think that's the debutant, Jamie 1S. I'm just going to call him Jamie, number 89 McLaren. Oh, that was the year I was born. And he's coming out of the pits now and just warming up his tyres. So it looks like they're having a bit of fun out there at the moment, but they are warming up the tyres. So as we said, Vanquish is out of qualifying session, so he's got a ban. He's chose his setup, and now he will be starting 14th, I believe. And we're going to just wait for the other guys to go out as well. So as I said, this is not a knockout qualifying session. This is like an old school qualifying session. Only difference is you haven't got 12 laps. You've got as many laps as you like, but you ain't going to fit many more than about 3 or 4 runs in this. So got to get a time. And we got ultra softs, softs, and mediums. So we haven't got the super soft here. So that's just been confirmed on the tower to the left hand side. You can see that we've got a lot of very strategies at the moment. So if the drivers decide on what tires to go on. If they go on the ultra softs, they'll have a great launch off of the start. But remember, those ultra softs will not last very long. And and then the softs and the medium. If soft, of course, if you want to go medium, you can go very deep into the race and then have a blitz at the end on the soft tire. Otherwise, of course, soft tire then it will have a bit of a sprint at the beginning and then just coming for mediums towards the end. We're watching Jamie now making his debut in IRC. I believe DRS is open, so here we go, his first attacking lap, as we got Ferrari going very wide in the background now. I think that might be Samster, of course, driver of the day in Germany. And he comes down into turn 1 now. Next to it beautifully, and now coming out down, you can see to be honest, I love old school tracks. I think that we were talking about it earlier. This is kind of like Carl's a very good fan of this track, and I think a lot of it's because of the character, because there's gradients in this track. So personally, I don't like tracks that are quite flat, like for example Abu Dhabi. I mean, Abu Dhabi is a great facility, and for some reason I just go well around Abu Dhabi, but I think that as a track I don't really enjoy it, so that's why I kind of enjoy more of these old traditional European tracks, because more character, more gradient, and yeah, I do like an undulating circuit. We've got a car in the way for Jamie, who just goes a bit wide. Got a bit of dirt on the onboard camera here, and you can see this track is very well, I wouldn't say it's very harsh on penalties, but you've got to keep an eye on the of going wide, haven't you, Kyle?
Yeah, this track is very unforgiving. Even if you put a wheel on the curb, it'll spin you, roll out the cut. It's quite harsh in the fact of exceeding limits of corner cuts. So his Locatelli's retired as well. Has he crashed it? Because he hasn't got a penalty.
I think he's gone in turn 2 somewhere, and that's not good at all for Roccatoni. That is major, because I think didn't he return? No, I think it was his teammate Leonard. And whoa, the back end stepping out now for Carton. Carton comes across the line and he does 1:21, but his time is invalidated, so he has to go again. and so he's on the
I
medium
was on
tire.
board with Carton, and he invalidated came into the right, the quick left-hander. I think it's turn 4.
Oh, turn 4, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
that's a to be honest, I remember Grosjean and Jordy's retired as well. Of course, he's got a he's got a qualifying ban. I remember Grosjean going around the outside of someone, and of course he got a penalty for going wide. But I thought it was a brilliant manoeuvre. It's a shame for that. But yeah, it's that corner you will get penalised quite heavily for even cutting it or even going wide. So Koga has gone up into 4th position now. He's on the Ultrasoft tyre. He's the only man on the Ultrasoft at the moment. He's done a 1:22.6. I think that was just kind of a banker because he's 2 seconds up already on his last time. So good stuff from Koga. So watching Carton now as he's coming through the final sector now, and but we're going to watch FA in the Red Bull. Of course, made his debut in Monaco. FA did, and I must admit I was enjoying watching FA drive. And he is 5th at the moment. This might be a track that might suit FA. Hopefully he'll have a better run next time around. What about Carton comes across the line? He goes 3rd fastest on the medium tyres at the moment. So at the moment, the top 6 are on medium tyres. We've got Koga on the ultra soft, and the other guys haven't come out the pits yet. Just watching Jamie. I think he is just slowing down and just backing off. Maybe he's going to have another go. As he's on board with FA now in the Red Bull. He is the slowest at the moment as Koga goes faster still on those ultra soft tyres. He's gone 2 seconds quicker. So yeah, he's just getting his eye in there. We've got 11 minutes to go. So there's still plenty of time out there. We're on board with the Gort. The Gort looks like he's coming back in the pits. So I wonder, these guys might not want to go onto the medium tyre. They might want to start on the soft. Maybe this is just like a bit of a practice run to get themselves warmed up. On board with Carton now. I've just lost my headset. I need to have my haircut, I think. And down into,
sounds like you need a better headset, mate.
Yeah, I know. I have these cheap PlayStation ones still. It's because I'm awful at breaking stuff. I think I've had 4 controllers this year already. We're only in May, so it's a controller every month. Samster is up fast at the moment. Carton comes into the pits. We've got Jamie 2nd. Good stuff for the debutant. FA goes up into 4th now, so that's a much better time from FA. Really competitive. He's only half a second off the pace now with Samster. Lennon in 5th. The Gort is going for another run on those medium tyres. Koga comes in the pits. We got Lucas out on the track now in the Williams. I think he's the only Greek driver out there this afternoon. Of course, there is Champions League football on again. I'm still very happy about what happened last night. Obviously, being a Liverpool fan. Tonight it's Tottenham, Tottenham and Ajax. I had to get it in there.
Honestly, I didn't realise it was Champions League. I watched it last night. I didn't realise it was on today. I know, like Messi, the Barcelona bus actually left yesterday and forgot Messi. It was left at Anfield, but
I think it was left in the changing room as well, wasn't it? To be fair to Messi, I thought he did put a couple of good good assists in, but shame his teammates couldn't follow up. Anyway, enough about football. We're back on to be honest, this is my love, Formula 1. As much as unfortunately Spain is clashing with the Premier League on Sunday, but I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be sat on the sofa watching the Spanish Grand Prix. Now here comes Lucas coming in now, and he's going to start his lap as he comes down into turn 1 now. Of course, Matt, the 2 regular commentators. Matt is on holiday at the moment. I hope he's enjoying himself, and of course Dave Shaw is also getting ready for his big day on the 25th of May. So I hope it all goes well for you, Dave, and I hope, Matt, you're enjoying yourself as well. So and we'll see Dave back after his wedding, and also we might see Matt back in the commentary box very soon as well. So you would have hopefully we haven't lost all our viewers by then with my awful Forester voice, oh but, as we're now watching Lucas coming up to turn 6 and 7, the technical chicane here. And in the number 4 Williams. I must admit, I do like Lucas's helmet. I think I used to have that helmet when I first started, before I decided to go unique and have a pink helmet because I wanted to be seen on the stream. Now he's coming down into the final sector now. He's done a 1:27.2. As you can see, this is where the part of the track which has also been altered as well. And he's coming around the final corner now. A Toronto race, which I remember. 1997.
Ooh, some very sideways then.
Is that coming out of turn 3?
Through that, coming out of turn 3, that's where Ricardo and Verstappen came together, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was. And I always remember Ricardo on the radio saying, tell me that wasn't who I think it was," or something like that. That made me
and then
chuckle.
there was a little bit of a swear on his finger as Verstappen come round again. Actually, Ricardo is famous for swearing around here, because the year he had to start from the back and he came through, not the time he won, he went up the inside of, round the outside of Bottas at turn 1, and Bottas understeered into him, and he passed, and he repassed Bottas the next lap, but stuck his middle finger up as he went past.
I think that was 2015, wasn't it? Where, because I think Danny Kvyat got on the podium, surprisingly. One of his best results, I think, Danny Kvyat on that exchange. That was a good race as well, as Samster, I think, just come on out there.
Well, he did have to back off after his sideways at turn 3, but his setup doesn't look that stable today.
No,
usually Sam's got his car planted, but...
I was going to say, because I remember I used to borrow all my setups off you, but I remember that every time we had setups and stuff like, your car was always planted and stuff like, which always helped us get to the end of the race, unless someone disconnected and you drove into the back of your teammate. China. But enough said about that.
That just winds me up every time someone says that. Fighting for the lead and then crashed into the back of your teammate. It's a Ferrari nightmare.
Charles, I had a bad start anyway, but Charles, I was so, I think that's the only time I've ever been wound up like properly on in league racing, is that Chinese Grand Prix. I had an awful start and then I disconnected. So if I made my own mistake, then fair enough. But yeah, when you get disconnected for no fault of your own, that's what really disappoints me. Samster going faster again, quarter of a second up on his personal best, coming into the final turn now. See the never-ending turn, and DRS is available. And what does he do? He goes across the line. He's 4 times quicker. He's in the 16.7s. Good time there from Samster. Looking very strong today. Very strong in the 19 Ferrari.
Lennon is really struggling. I've just been on board with him, and he messed up turn 4. He went straight on at the chicane, and he's sideways coming out of the sideways a lot. So obviously he's not very happy with his setup.
Do you reckon it could also be tyres? Is he struggling to get warm up in his tyres, or do you reckon they should be warmed up by now?
Ooh, it's mediums. The mediums take about 2 laps to warm up. They're absolutely horrible. The medium tyres are.
And Lennon's
technically,
he's in the barrier! Oh no, he's done a cool fart. Oh no, I can feel his pain there, and oh dear, he's wow. Yeah.
Harry Potter has come to F1.
You're a wizard, Lennon. And he's 6 at the moment. Alright. It gets worse, guys. It gets worse. We're on board with BP now as he comes on his outlap now. He's the only man that hasn't qualified yet. He's down in 12th position, just trying to get his tyres warmed up. Samster coming into the pits now. Yeah, he's going to come across. There's a barrier. Oh my gosh, he's gone. Whoa, wow. I don't know how he survived, but he's okay. That car is made of titanium. I don't know. Is titanium hard? I think so. It's coming around the final corner now, and now BP is going to start his lap now. So he's the only one that hasn't started. We've just got under 5 minutes to go. These guys are more than, and Lucas is out on the auto soft, so this is where it's going to get entertaining. So all these guys are going to come out now and see if they can fight for pole position. We've got FA out on the Autosoft as well. Lucas, well, FA ain't out yet, but Lucas is out on the Autosoft. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's just Lucas just getting his tyres warmed up.
You may have got a notification there, and I do apologise. I forgot to put the party to public so drivers can join us.
No worries. I always put the party to private only because I'm very concerned
Lucas
about...
is off.
Oh, yes, he is.
Lucky he didn't hit the wall, then he touched the grass on braking. Yeah, he's aborted straight away. He's going to ruin them ultras. He touched the grass on braking and just absolutely slithered as there's just a random barrier up in the air doing a bit of a boogie.
And I remember, if you're in the top 10, you have to start on those tyres. So that's why Lucas is coming to the pits. He doesn't want to have those tyres on for any longer than he can. We've got some comments in the YouTube section. We'll read them out in a second. Sorry, Carl.
No, you're right. It was just going on your point. It was it's touched the grass. He's locked up. Then he's gone straight on. He was lucky he didn't hit the wall, but he doesn't. He's got P2 and
Wow.
he's on.
Whoa! What a time from BP! 1:16.4, 3/10 quicker than Samster, and he's on the soft tyre as well. That was a great lap. Again, I've cut in front of Kyle, so because Kyle's point is very important for this race, so we'll get back to that in a minute. But that's a great lap from BP, isn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, but Sam's come straight out on track on the softs. He's ready to respond. So let's get ready for a Sam special because we know what he can deliver.
I must admit, in Germany, I thought BP drove a really good race actually, and he came home to finish second because he had a couple of races out as he was also enjoying the sun. BP was, and of course he came back and very, very strong in Germany, and he's looking like he's carrying that over as he's cutting the track. Yeah, yeah. But just going back to your point, I think. Sorry, hang on.
Yeah, I was looking on the YouTube comments, but there's none coming up on that one.
I think I got mentioned in the chat as well. The problem when I do comms is that I get so carried away I forget to send links and stuff. So sorry about that, guys, if you've missed the early part of qualifying.
Apparently, we've only got one person watching.
That can't be right.
That might just be me.
So Matt's just confirmed that he'll be back next week. So welcome back, Matt. Of course, he's in Spain at the moment. And of course, we've got Ricky saying, good luck, guys. I'm missing so much racing in this league. Well, hopefully we'll see you back soon, Ricky. As coming down into turn 1, then it's Samster. So Samster has got a 3/10 for the second gap to make up.
A lot of wheel spin coming out of turn 1. That's going to have dampened his lap a little bit. Clean through turn 2. Flat, lovely. How much is he going to lift coming through turn 4? Sick, yeah. Lovely. Just in the limit. Again, a little bit too much wheel spin. He's definitely pushing it, but so far so good. A little bit of understeer. Still makes the apex. Sick, yeah, that's lovely.
Whoa!
Effie goes fastest on the ultras.
Good time there from FA. We'll stay with Samster for the minute he comes around the final corner. Did you want to continue with this lap, Kyle?
Yeah, it's just coming up to the last corner. A little bit wide for my liking. I had to go down to third. That's when I've lost him a couple of attempts.
He does go second on 158.
Yeah.
That's a
To me,
decent
that
time.
looked a bit scruffy. That last corner you want to take in fourth. Maybe a bit of a tighter line so you can get the power down on exit. But apart from that, a pretty decent lap. It just seemed to get a lot of wheel spin and a bit of understeer in the second sector. Obviously, the second sector is where you lose a lot of time if your setup isn't right. So, no, good luck on the whole from Sam. But obviously, I don't think he's going to be too concerned about Effie. He's going to be on the ultras. He'll quit way before he does his Sam pulls off. He's going to retire the car now.
Yeah, Sam just pulls off. He was in the middle of nowhere then, which got me a bit worried. But as someone's just jumped up, it's the Gort who's gone up into fourth now on the soft tire. So good time there from the Gort. Matt has just asked for a shout out. Hello, Matthew. Of course, he's enjoying himself in Spain. Of course, I'm having a lovely holiday. We've seen some of his snaps as well. He watched Liverpool in a local pub as well last night. So
He did.
great.
He was quite enjoying it as well, which was good to see. Good family time. So hope you had fun. And obviously, he's missing tomorrow, so bit upsetting, but everyone needs to relax every once in a while. So see you next week, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I echo that statement. So yeah, hope you enjoy Spain for the rest of the week. And yeah, of course, Matt's back in the commentary box next week for the elite, and of course the day after he'll be back racing in Super as well. Lucas only goes 6 fastest at the moment, and we just got
Hopefully
Jamie.
I don't get replaced next week. We're just watching Jamie come through the last corner. Short shifting, I think he's about to run out. He jumped up though, I think he got third.
He did, didn't I? think he got his third. Yeah, that's a great spot there. That was a great time from Jamie as well, because I believe this is his debut for Jamie, so well done. So we're just going to go through the grid a bit quick, and then we're going to just tell you what tyres they're on. Yeah, so F8 on pole position. I'm not. Is that his first pole position in the elite? I think we're going to say yes. So great time from F8, but of course he's on the only man on the ultra soft tyres apart from Koga. Alongside him is Samster. He's on the soft tyre. Then we got Jamieson in his debut, third. We got BP in fourth, continuing his great run since returning from holiday. Carton is fifth. Begor is sixth. Lucas is seventh. Then on eighth position is Lennon, who unfortunately crashed in the pit lane. He's on the medium tyre. Ninth is Koga. Then we got the naughty boys at the back. We got Slim 11th. We got Slim 10th. Vanquish 11th, and so on.
Well, you got to think Rockatoni didn't have the penalty, but crashed it. So the likes of Slim, Vanquish, Crazy Power, and Geordie, obviously they'll all have their tyre choice as well now, and now Rockatoni. But they'll be up there, but I think as long as Sam keeps his nose out of trouble and doesn't try to battle Effie too much while his tyres are in the prime, I think this one's going to be Sam's for the taking. I think Vanquish, obviously they're going to be starting right at the back of the pack. They've got to be so careful coming through.
Yeah, definitely. And as we've already touched on, we keep repeating it. We sound like a broken record player, but it is very hard to overtake around this track in terms of downforce. This is Monaco kind of level downforce, and there's only one real good opportunity to overtake, and you have to be brave for the rest. And I think you said you have to be very brave on a couple of them where you might expect a penalty or two. So they're just getting away from.
If you're going to overtake anyone but turn one, you've got to really know that driver and trust what the outcome would be. There's turn one, turn two, I'd say is an overtaking spot, but the rest it's quite hard, and maybe the third to last corner if you get a good run. But again, you've got to be in like half a car length in front before you can class that as yours. So it'll be an interesting one, but we shall wait and see. I'm just looking, so obviously Slim has decided to start on the softs. Vanquish, Crazy Power on the mediums. Geordie is on the softs, and Rockatoni is also starting on mediums. Yeah, I'll be interested from obviously the battle lot. Slim, I expect Slim and Geordie to make a little bit more progress, but at the end of the race it'll come to Vanquish, Crazy and Rockatoni, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, looking at the long game there, aren't they? You can see we've got all three types of tyres in use as well, so that's good as well. We like a bit of a mixture in strategy. So one of these guys has got it right, one of these guys haven't got it right. They all can't be right. So we're going to find out now who's got the better strategy. So we're just watching F8 on his first ever pole position in the lead, coming around now to take off his grid slot. He must be nervous. If I was on pole position, which would never happen, if I was on pole position, I'll be absolutely bricking it. So yeah,
the only thing I've said about F's formation lap is there's too much of a gap between the fields. So if I was F, I'd have slowed it a little bit. But
yeah, because Rockatoni's only just coming. Rockatoni's only just coming through the final corner. That's a very good point there, because he was out there doing all his business, and do you reckon that was down to an experience, or maybe he was just very eager to get onto the grid?
I think it was just eagerness, but you've got to be wary. Some drivers do deliberately slow down, but I'm going to shut up now because we've gone to 5 red lights, so we are racing. Yes, we are.
We're finally racing. So FA gets a good start, but Samster gets an equally good start, and he might be alongside him already. So that's a great start from Samster. We got BP up into 4th position already. How we're going to do is we get down to turn 1. We've got very clean from these guys. That's why they're elite. Brilliant stuff from all those guys there. No carbon fibre is what I've seen, but Samster takes the lead. He's in front of FA already. That is a big bonus. I didn't expect that because I thought the Ultra Sauce would have been better to get off the line there. So Samster leads now, so he is in prime position as they come through turn 4. Lionel Stern here, look at this, very good racing so far, absolutely clean as a whistle, very good stuff. As Jamieson in his debut has dropped down to 4th, but that ain't too bad. As you can see, it's not a very long run up down to turn 1. So, oh, we got I think we had Vanquish there and side by side.
Geordie and Vanquish went through the chicane side by side.
Oh, and Geordie's off.
Gone off. He's gone.
Oh, and I'm just about keeping. That's going to really hurt Geordie at the moment. He was, of course, he was very aggressive in Germany, and unfortunately, he's dropped right down to the back field. So, biggest winner is Rocketoni, and you can see though that not many position changes at the moment. So lap 1 complete. We've got 35 laps around here, so this is going to be a long slog for these drivers, and it's a beautiful day. So we don't expect any weather changes, but then again, anything could happen. And BP is at the fastest lap because it looks like he's had the cleanest lap out of the first 2 so far. FA is not letting Samster go at the moment, but remember he's on the ultra soft tyre. As we've got a couple of guys overtaking as they come down. There's Slim is up into 8th position already. Good overtake there for Slim. He's just got past Lennon. Of course, Lennon unfortunately qualifying was cut short, and Slim's had a lock up as they go into turn 2.
He's having a wing change, so there was a bit of contact somewhere, but I think that might have been on the spinning Geordie, but I'm not quite sure. So Rockton is already in the walls again, so he crashed in qualifying and lap 1 damage, so he's come out on the softs, so I think he's going to pure power now.
That's a shame for Rocketoni, as we just seen a great move and turn 4 there on Vanquish and Kogut there. Kogut definitely a great race from both those guys. Kogut was definitely could have shut the door there, but I think he was very gracious there. But a good driving from both those guys. Kogut goes very wide as he's strolling at the first stages of this race. As he's on the ultra soft tyres. Here comes Crazy Power now. As it calls, so this is an overtaking manoeuvre down into turn 14, I believe, something like that. And a lock up there from Crazy Power, but Kogut is really struggling at the moment. He's dropping off Vanquish. He's almost 2 seconds behind. As he's really struggling. Oh, and he's gone wide.
Oh, what's it? Is his stuff? I think is his. Yeah, he's retired from. That's surprising from lap 3.
There wasn't a problem.
I don't know what to say about that. No, he just pulled it off the track. So. I think he devilled before the race had even properly got underway, so bit of a poor.
Oh, that's a bit poor.
Bit of a poor decision, actually. That's a bit, you know, he gets a seat in the elite and he just decides to retire for actually no reason. So anyway, we'll leave that one for the
sorry,
admins.
BP almost losing control there. Well, apologies there, and Rocketoni's out as well. I think that's unfortunate. I think he might have just called it a day in the pit there. I'm surprised that these guys are calling it a day so early, as Jamie just about keeping it on the track there, because this is 35 lap race, and to be honest, Hungary is a mistake, is a kind of track where you will have mistakes. So yeah, and because the bar is so close in, I would have expected a safety car as well. So is Jamie now all over the back of BP at the moment. There's a 2-second gap between second and third at the moment. We've got a bit of a queue behind BP at the moment. There's whoa, we've got contact. Carton's damaged his front wing. Carton has damaged his front wing. That's a big end plate loss, and he's going to have to come in the pits. He is in the pits. And
oh, nearly crashed it then.
Well, that's a big blow for Carton. And now Jamie all over the back of BP, going up the inside, and look at that, good move there, diving down the inside, but a good switch back from BP now, and he's going on the outside as they come into turn 2 now, and you can see wheel-to-wheel stuff. Look at this, they can't even fit a fag paper in between them, and Jamie's got the inside line, and a great defending there from Jamie there, just parking it right in the middle of the track, and so BP can come back at him. Good race then from both those guys there. FA has got a 3-second penalty already. Remember, he's on the ultra soft tyres, so he's trying to keep up the pressure as much as he can. So we want to see how quick Jamie is. Is he going to be able to catch on FA? Is FA getting very sideways out of the chicane there? And you see BP is around this track. Dirty air might be a bit of a problem here. So you see the BP is dropping back slightly. The Gore is now close to BP. As we've got a free set, we're going to have a couple of penalties starting to come up now. Is Slim is all over the back of Lucas in the battle for 6th position, number 4 Ferrari, and of course
Slim's had a brilliant start. He's got past the likes of Kogut, Lennon. Got a bit of a gap to Vanquish, not a lot though. So hopefully he can get past Lucas, who he's gone wide in the last quarter. That's going to compromise the DRS run. But he doesn't want to overshoot, so Lucas can't get the switch back, so I think it's too far back. Yeah, he is. He's not going to do it. He'll try and get the run for turn 2. It's better. Is he going to go for it? I think he's too far back again. Yeah, he's going to have to. He had a poor exit from the last corner, so.
And Geordie's just got in front of Crazy Power, so Geordie's got a bit of pace in that Renault. As of course we see him half spin on the front opening lap, but he's up to 10th now, and he's just got by Crazy Power. But remember, Geordie is on the soft tyre, whilst Crazy Power is on the medium tyre. He's looking at the long-term game, whilst Geordie is going to be quicker at this stage of the race. Vanquish is not on the back of Lennon as such, but I tell you who is on the back, and that's Slim, who's right on the back of Lucas at the moment. Also, Jamie is also right on the back of FA as well, in the battle for second position as well. So yeah, Lionel Stern at the moment. Great bit of car control there from Slim. You see, he turned into the slide there, so he was going into the wall at one point there, but that was brilliant car control. Now coming into the into turn 14, which has just been well, of course it was remodeled back in 2005ish, I believe. And we've got a car in the pit. I think that might be the Red Bull.
Yeah, his tyres are gone already.
Yeah, we're only 4 laps in as well. That's oh no!
Oh, 5 seconds stop go. He won't serve that this time either. So if he is only 1 stop, and he's got 7 seconds worth of penalties already. And Slim made a mistake coming out of the last corner again, and that's compromising his run on Lucas.
Yeah, that's a new challenge, isn't it, for these elite guys? Having to slow down for the white line. And it's almost if you're too cautious, you're going to lose a lot of time. But of course, you cannot. I mean, to be honest, it's a difficult one to balance. You need to practice and practice and practice to get it right. And we're now on board with Slim again. He's all over the back of Lucas. So yeah, Slim is coming, as you said, Carl. Slim is coming his way through the field like a hot knife through butter. It's been brilliant stuff so far from Slim.
But where he can overtake, he's not making the most of it. So
no, and it's quite a short straight.
Vanquish is still behind Lennon, so he has got time, but he's soft. Sorry, they're going to start losing out to the mediums in about 4 laps time as Slim locks up the turn 14 again. But I'm going to watch his exit coming out of the last corner. Maybe he'll get it, but I don't want the Slims. He's going to get frustrated soon, so he needs to keep his head. Lucas has gone wide on the last corner. Slim's kept it tight. He's a lot closer now. DRS open. DRS up. Yeah, he's got it. Here he goes. Falls out. Oh, he weren't as late on the brakes as I thought he'd be. But he'll get DRS again. Oh, he's backstepped out. Lucas is going to have the inside line. I think he's not going to get. He's going to drive around the outside.
That's a great move from Slim.
Oh.
Excellent stuff.
Oh, Lucas is off the road on the grass.
Oh,
that was a move. That was beautiful. I did not expect him to do that.
Great move there from Slim on the outside of turn 2, and as the Vanquish got 3-second penalty as well. But that is a beautiful move, and we just in front before we cut to Slim and Lucas there is BP is now in the podium position. So we assumed it was gradually gaining on BP, and now the Gore is in 3rd position, and he's 2 seconds behind at the debutant Jamie at the moment, who's in the McLaren. So let's see how much pace Slim's got. Is he going to get out to the back of BP now? As you can see, Vanquish is now starting to really hound Lennon in the Haas. And so we're coming around, but yeah, it took a couple of laps there for Slim to get by. If you don't get by quickly, then you're losing a lot of time, aren't you? And this DRS is not very powerful around here, is it?
No, it's not the worst track, but it's one of the least effective tracks, DRS. So you've got to be brave on the brakes, but you've got to have a good exit from turn 16 if you want to make a pass into turn 1. So it was his 3rd attempt, and he worked good at stop and driving around the outside at turn 2. That was absolutely amazing. So credit to Slim. But now, how much of his tyres has he took out to get onto the back of BP?
Yeah, remember, you lose a lot of you get a lot of tyre wear if the more you fight someone in front. But
BP's gone off. He touched the grass. As I said, that BP's made a mistake. Slim's on. Fair enough. You could see BP going into turn 5. Just turn 5, turn 4, right under. I don't know my tracks. But he touched the grass, and I believe 1, 2. Yeah, it's turn 4. And then he kind of kept it, but he lost a good tenth or so. But Slim doesn't look particularly that well. He's gone wide at turn 14, but it just Slim and the slow corners doesn't look as good. He's locked up again, and Lucas nearly goes into the back of him. Slim is now struggling.
Torn is struggling, Vanquish is struggling as well. He's taking a tight line and he's gone wide, and Geordie's going on the inside, coming out the final corner. You will have DRS as he will kick up into high gear as well as he comes down the start finish straight. He's going to have a look at Vanquish goes defensive on the inside then, so is Geordie going to go around the outside? Vanquish, that's a great bit of defending, isn't it? Amazing.
He made sure the switchback couldn't happen. That was great from Vanquish, but he's gone wide again. So
Vanquish is struggling.
Vanquish is really struggling, and that's surprising to say. It's fresh tyres, but the mediums do have a stage where in the tyre life they're good, and then you have 2 or 3 laps where they feel absolutely awful, and then they come back to life. So I think that might be the case for Vanquish, but
like a bit of the old school, like the old school kind of graining kind of thing back in the day, where I think Michelin had like getting very close again. Geordie and Vanquish. I think Michelin had a issue back when they first came into F1 where they were amazing for the first 5 laps, and then they had like 2 or 3 laps where they started to grain up and were just really slow, and then they just come back into life afterwards. So so a lot of a lot back in the good old days. Vanquish going on the inside of Lennon just cutting him up as they're coming into the final couple of corners again. This is great wheel-to-wheel racing from these 3, Geordie, Vanquish and Lennon. Of course, Vanquish is leading the championship at the moment. They're getting very squirrely coming out of the final corner, and now Geordie is going to be all over the back of him, but Vanquish can defend beautifully well. He defended last time around as Vanquish has got DRS from the first. He's going for a dive bomb. And that's a great move from Geordie, but he's now forcing him off there. And Vanquish will have the inside going into turn 2. Is he going to go on the outside as well? Vanquish then coming in deep, locking up. But brilliant bit of driving from both these guys, and getting very close there. And he's forced him out wide there. Geordie then up into 8th. Wow. What do you think? Was that clean driving, or was that a bit? Do you reckon that overstepped the mark there?
That was. It was a. I think that would be investigated. That was, it weren't a little do that. He pushed him onto the curb. He nearly put him into the barrier. So it was obviously there. You've kind of got to shut the door, but I think that much was a bit too much. I think it will be investigated, but I can't say for certain. For me, it was a bit too cheeky, but. You know what I'm like, I'm kind of an old school kind of driver. I like all cars on track, so yeah. I'm not sure. Personally for me, that was a no-no, but the admins and that might think different.
Of course, Geordie does have a bit of a past after all the racing in Germany. Now he's going to go on the outside of Lennon as Lennon defends beautifully. I tell you what, these guys, no pun intended, but these guys are elite at defending. It's been amazing how they just park right in the middle of the track. He's going for a dive bomb again. I think that was a bit too much, wasn't it? That was a bit too much.
No, that was unacceptable.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Geordie was out of control there. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that both Lennon and Geordie are out, and unfortunately, I have a feeling that was
that was Geordie's fault.
Yeah, he was he had a very rash manoeuvre in turn 2, and then that's as you said, that's too much, I feel. And I don't get me wrong, I love seeing Geordie race because I tell you what, he produced some. I think it was some of it was a bit over the mark, but. Hey, it's great to see him race, but unfortunately we don't want to see where drivers get taken out, and unfortunately that might be one of the things that the stewards will be looking at after this race. Shame really, because I'm always enjoying that battle up till then, as we're watching Crazy Power come onto the back of Vanquish. And I've got no pace at the moment, but you think, but I think it's because he's going for the graining phase, though, isn't it? We think, isn't it, between Vanquish coming down the start finish straight. And Crazy Power is a bit too far back at the moment. This is the closest battle on track. You see locking the outside tyre, which is a bit unusual because it's usually the loaded tyre that locks, not the outside. But Crazy Power now coming into turn 2. Got DRS again. Vanquish locks the inside, so he did lock the loaded tyre. Geordie and Lennon have left, so that's unfortunate for that. Keep an eye on Facebook to know what goes on with the incidents and stuff. Of course, because that's where the incidents and race report gets gets reported as now crazy power all over the back of Vanquish. Vanquish is not having the best of days out there at the moment. Our championship leader is
no, he's not looking to. I said this in Canada and I was right, but at the same time you don't know. I don't know if it's just the mediums, but it just doesn't seem suited to this track, does it? It just seems in no man's land. I mean, Crazy Power's on the same tyre as him, and Crazy's on the back of him and he's locking up, so...
He is, I was just going to say, he is a top medium runner, but yeah, Crazy's all over the back of him and they're on the same life of tyre, so this is basically an equal battle between these two. We got FA just behind in 9th position at the moment. He has made a stop, as has Carton. So those are the only two that have made a stop so far. We're on lap 13 out of 35. Samster leads. Jamie the rookie is in 2nd. Legort 3rd. BP 4th. 5th is Slim, and he's a 2nd back from BP at the moment. Lucas is only a 2nd back from Slim. And then we got this battle here between Vanquish and Crazy. So they're not Lionel Stern, they're not all together like a crocodile, but as Vanquish goes very wide coming out of turn 2. But they are definitely within touching distance of each other. And
if you look on Slim's telemetry, his fuel light is orange. That means he's borderline / nearly, you know, he won't make the end of the race. So you can tell he's been pushing the first couple of laps, but he is going to have to start some fuel saving. I think he's hoping for a safety car because he's saving his airs, but his fuel in the minute is orange. So
is this a particularly thirsty track in terms of fuel? The Hungary.
I wouldn't say so. I mean,
it's not a Bahrain, is it? Where you have to really coast or put it on to lean, is it? It's I wouldn't say it's like a. It isn't like a very fuel thirsty track, is it?
No, it's. I think he's been running it in Rich quite a few laps. It's not particularly that bad on fuel, so you know, obviously it's not just a pure power track. So, but that's the difference to Slim. I always notice on the elite groups that Slim always seems to be borderline with fuel more than other drivers. But again, that's other people's preference. Me, I tend to overfuel the car. I think Slim underfuels it. But
yeah, that was my next question actually. You just touched on that. I was going to say, do you overfuel, do you underfuel, and how much is? I was going to say, and does it really affect it? But as you said, it's just driver preference, isn't it?
Yeah, I tend to have a lap and a half, 2 laps of fuel spare, but that's because I'll do 2 laps in rich mix before I pit, and then I do 2 laps after to get the tyres fully warmed up, and then obviously the last couple of laps of the race. But again, that's just people's preference. I like to push as soon as I come out of the pit lane, because that's how I've teamed it as BP's in. Sam, Degor and BP are all in, so I believe they'll be going on to mediums now for the rest of the race. Sam is Degor, yep, and BP's yet to come into his box, but now I tend to push very quick to get the tyres up to scratch. So, but again, that's just preference. Some take it easy, some don't.
I know, just joined in Vanquish, he's got the inside of Samster. Oh, contact between the Samster and Vanquish there. I don't think there is any damage.
Well,
but
you knew I was commentating, so can you stop?
as Carl was just having a bit of a brief moment in the background, there's a Vanquish and Samster there getting very close. I don't think there was any damage there, but Vanquish lunging down the inside there and crazy powers all over the back of him. So I was just going to say actually, how much is that going to hurt to Vanquish seeing Samster come out in front? And Carton's all over the back of FA. The Gort is 8th, BP is 9th, and Lucas is 10th at the moment. But remember, they've all made a stop. Carton will have to come in again, even though he's already made a stop, because those soft tires will not go to the end, I don't believe. And yeah, so Vanquish has got through with a bit of force, but he is through. We're just watching Samster now. We haven't seen much of Samster, to be honest, because he's been all alone up until this point. So I think he's been having kind of a test session out there. But now this is good where it's going to get interesting. Crazy Power is 4/10 away. Remember, they're both on the same compound tire. It does take a couple of laps to warm up the medium tires, so he might be under a bit of pressure as we got the second Ferrari in. Slim is in the pits and he comes out now as he's coming now down the pit straight. We've got FA and Carton now going 1-on-1, going down to turn 1. He's up the inside, beautifully done from Carton, and he parks in the middle of the road. Great defending, but as he's gone slightly wide, and FA does have the switchback on here. Is he going on the outside? And I don't think he is, as Carton now forces him wide. So beautiful defending from Carton, and job done. Well, I would say job done, but FA's coming back at him. And I thought he was going into the back of them. That would have been an airplane crash. We've had some awful crashes down there. One that comes to mind was Ralph Furman, basically took him out for the rest of the 2003 season in practice. Of course, we also have that infamous Felipe Massa accident, which was more down to a car failure on Barry Keller's car rather than Massa's issue. But look at this, now they've all pitted down. They've all started to bunch back up now, and they're going, and we see the guys that are on well, I'm not sure. The Gort's trying to get these quick tires up to temperature very quickly, because BP is all over the back of him at the moment. Samster is all over the back of Vanquish as well, coming into the final couple of corners then. So these two have already rubbed wheels. Lovely onboard shot of the rear wing, but we want to see the front as Samster drifts around the final corner, and he's now got him lined up as and he's got hers fully powered going at the inside there. And of course, remember that Samster's tires are basically fresh, and in comes Jamie, and he's come out now, so he's got Vanquish is in the wall. He's out. Vanquish is out. That's the championship leader out of the race. That is huge, and what a shame for Vanquish. That is very unusual to see Vanquish in the wall. He struggled today by the looks of it, or it might have just been preserving, but from our point of view, I thought he was struggling. Vanquish is out of the race. He will get some points, but 1 point is not really what he wanted today. That is major.
That was very slow motion, actually.
It was. It's one of those spins that you feel quite pathetic in the car, don't you? It's one of those awful ones where you can't do much about it. BP all over the back of the court there. But it's quite easy for you to do, though, isn't it? Because you were saying in qualifying that if you touch the curve wrong or get on the power too early, and your car is going to be facing the wrong way. And unfortunately, in Vanquish's case, he's in the wall. That's a big shame, isn't it?
Definitely, but I think the likes of Carton and Slim, they'll be a little bit happier at that, because I mean Slim's down in 8th, but I expect him to get a little bit further up and try and close this championship lead down, because his 63-point difference, they need to take most out of this they can.
Yeah,
it's bad luck for Vanquish, but for Slim's received Carton, received the 5 seconds to stop to go for speed in the pit lane.
Here we're going on the mediums and going to the end now, so his mediums will be slightly fresher, but it's going to be a lonely old race for Carton in the back there.
BP versus the Gore.
That's
BP's trying to go round in.
And the Gore coming back on the inside. BP has got the inside for turn 3. Look at this.
Ooh.
And to be honest, that wasn't as bad, was it, as what we seen earlier from the Renault? But yeah, BP, the Gore backs out of that. That was quite sensible, to be honest. I was, if I was him, I would have stuck my nose and it probably ended up taking us both out. But that was very sensible driving from the Gore. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, great driving from both these guys. So BP 5th, the Gore 6th, and we've got Slim in 7th position at the moment. His main championship rival is out of the race. Samster is also going to move out the I think that Samster will be happy as well, because both Ferraris are in the championship fight, and I think they are leading the championship as well. So it's been great from the Ferrari boys in terms of a team effort, but in terms of the championship, it feels like Schumacher's on the Rivalries team at the moment in terms of Force India, because Vanquish has been Schumacher-esque like in some of these races. I have called him more of a Nico Rosberg in terms of robot, but in terms of dominating, it's been more Schumacher-esque. Coming around the final corner now, and the Gore is all over the back of BP again. He's going on the inside now. You can see, look at how he's right up there. But look at this, and you can see BP just giving only enough room, and there's a bit of contact again. Nothing too much. There's the Gore will have the DRS as they come down the hill, and now is he going to have a go in turn 2 here? I think he's too far back. He is too far back, so the Gore is up into 5th position now, and Slim is joined the party as well. So we've now BP will have to defend from Slim, and coming to turn 4 now, going very wide there. That might be a warning there, because I think they had all 4 wheels off the track. So this is the closest battle on track at the moment, 5th, 6th and 7th, and to be honest, it's a brilliant battle as well. Look at this, the Gore's back end stepping around. We're going to have Lucas as well. Lucas decides to cut the corner there, so he probably hoped he wasn't on the stream there, but unfortunately we caught him. Sorry, Lucas. And we're now watching coming through the twisty section now. Oh, very close. I thought he was in the back there. And Slim, this is one of your maneuver passing places that you suggested earlier on. But yeah, you have to know your opponent, don't you?
Definitely.
Crazy Power's in the pits. He's done 18 laps on those on medium tires. That's a good stint from Crazy Power. So, but remember, all the other guys I think have to do about 20 laps as well. I think Samster will have to. So he's in the pits now. So he's going to go to the soft tire, and he might be a player towards the end. But remember, this is a very hard track to overtake on. Unfortunately, Carton is still in 8th position. So everyone is now on the medium tire apart from Crazy Power. So we're going to rejoin this battle here because unfortunately, whilst we've been looking in the pit lane, Slim is now up into 5th position. So he's got by BP now. So Slim is now up into 5th position. Remember, 5th is 10 points. So yeah, this is looking very good from Slim's point of view. So he's doing a good race today.
I think Effie's going to have to pit again. He's done 14 laps and there's still 15 left. Obviously, he started on the Ultras, but I doubt he's going to get them tyres so far. So I think he might be going ultra, medium, ultra.
That's a very good point. I completely forgot about FA on the ultra software. So yeah, unfortunately for FA, then he's going to have to come in the pit. So the ultra soft tyre was not really a good strategy at all, as it seems at the moment. So for the Super Boys, which are on tomorrow, same time, same YouTube channel. So join us tomorrow. And we'll be looking at these guys and be thinking that maybe the ultra softs is not a good idea. But then again, I do think that some of the strategies that the Super Boys do are actually pretty good, because they do a lot of different strategies compared to the Elite Boys. As into the pits comes BP. Has he damaged his front wing? He must have damaged his front wing in the.
He has.
Well, that's a shame for BP. Carson moves up to 8th, so that is a big blow for BP. He's dropped right down to the back of the field, unfortunately. And I thought he was being held up there. I thought that was the old pit lane glitch, but luckily BP's out. Car number 19 is in 9th position at the moment. So he's on the soft tyre now. So Carton up to 8th, Crazy up to 7th, Lucas is 6th. We've got Slim, he's now really putting on a charge, isn't he, in the second half of the race. So he is now coming up behind the Gort, who's in 4th position. As Carl said, FA will have to come in the pits, we believe, because there's no way he's going to do another 14 odd laps on those medium tyres. That's going to be a mammoth effort if he does. As Slim's got a 3-second penalty for running wide and coming out of turn 13 now. And so Slim is looking at a potential podium here. Good driving. Comes around the second to last corner.
I have to say though, obviously he's not had much TV time, but for Jamie in the McLaren, he's the only person on track within 10 seconds of Sam, and the only one he's got fastest lap as well. So a brilliant opening there for Jamie. As Crazy Powers now took the fastest lap, so what I've just said was rendered useless. But
I reckon Crazy was listening to you, wasn't he?
Yeah, but no, still a very good opening debut for Jamie.
Oh dear, commentator's curse there. No, but I definitely echo that because Jamie making his debut, he's done a great job, hasn't he? He looked good in qualifying, and he's looking even stronger in the race, hasn't he, Jamie? So yeah, that's definitely a good shout out there for Jamie on board with Slim at the moment in the Ferrari. As you get a bit of oversteer there. You can see that FA is now starting to struggle really bad on those medium tyres, because the Gort and Slim are now reeling them in quite quickly. You can see we've got 2 Red Bulls just in front of us, and yeah, we think he's going to have to stop again at FA, which is unfortunate really, but that's the problem. That's the downside of starting on the auto soft tyres. You would have had the launch, even though FA didn't really have the launch coming out of the start off the start either, which I was quite surprised at really. I thought that yeah, I would have thought they would have had a better launch, but maybe his reactions were just slower than Samster's. Around the final corner now as Slim is in DRS range. Well, lap 23 out of 35. This is a longer race. FA is in the pits in the Red Bull, so you called it definitely. He wasn't going to make it to the end of the race, so FA is going to drop right down the field. He might even be behind Carson as well. So he's on the soft tyre. Is that because the Ultrasoft wouldn't have gone to the end then, do you think, Kyle? That it's too long, isn't it, for the Ultrasofts, isn't it? Because they didn't last very long in the opening couple of laps, did they?
But the last 6 laps, but obviously he did do his qualifying lap, his warm-up lap, his slow-down lap, and his formation lap. So I'd say 10 laps would be acceptable.
Yeah, so it would have been pushing the envelope, but I would have had to go on the ultra softs personally. But oh well. But FA is on the soft tyre. He's in 8th position at the moment. That's 4 points. So as you can see, Slim going wide again. I think that's his normal racing line by looks on the outside there. But the Gort did exactly the same, so no foul because both of them were doing exactly the same. And coming into the second to last corner again, Slim's got to keep it tight. You can see we've got Crazy Power and Lucas also getting quite interested in each other as well, as the battle for 5th and 6th also rages on behind. We'll keep an eye on the battle for 3rd at the moment, but we'll also keep an eye on the battle for 4th. But I think that Lucas is in a bit of trouble here coming down into turn 1. As you can see, Slim is too far back, he's locked up there. As you can see, we've had a lot of brakes locking up. You can see Crazy Power just locked up there, but getting off the brakes before they're locked up. So yeah, he just felt that the brakes were just locking up, seizing up, and if you lock up, then it's just going to cause major problem with the tyres. And yeah, unfortunately, it's the same old story in F1 these days about tyres and boring and stuff like that. You know, I must admit, I'm a sad person. I'm quite interested in the tyres. So as we're now watching a Slim, who's in car 4, he is now fighting for a podium position. Jamie is 14 seconds down the road in the McLaren, doing a great job, and he's actually catching Samster now. But I wonder if Samster is just easing off the gas here. But remember, that is quite just as dangerous as pushing. Is a Slim getting very ragged into the second sector here. He is still within DRS range, running wide again, and that might be another running wide there again. He is going to get another penalty, I think, as a Crazy Power is all over the back of Lucas in the battle for 5th position. Of course, Crazy is on soft tyres, so he will have an advantage. Lucas is on 9-lap-old medium tyres. They're coming through the final corner now. See, just hugging the line now. Now you can see, look at that. He's you can see that electric bolt down in the right-hand side has gone into 4. He is on the overtake mode on Earth. Lucas has gone on the inside. Crazy Power is staying to his race line, which means that he will have a better exit. No, he won't, because Lucas has done a good job there. Great job for defending there from Lucas. And I must admit, defending today has been almost brilliant. I must say, good defending from most of the drivers out there today, as Lucas is just going to stay in front. Of course, now this is the second sector where you won't be able to overtake very much unless you're very brave. And yeah, firstly, I wouldn't try, but well, I would try, but I'll probably take someone out and then I'll be banned. So yeah, I wouldn't try. And coming through the chicane now, we're going to just go back to Slim at the moment. He is dropping back. Well, he isn't dropping back as such. He's a half a second back from at the Gort. He's gone wide again, but he did get penalised, so maybe he ain't getting penalised around there. Usually, if you go wide on that corner, you do get penalised, don't you?
Yeah, usually. That's that, and turn 4's a bit of place you usually get through the lines, so.
Yeah, it's to be honest, this track where it's tight, twisty, bit of a dust bowl. We've got FA out. FA is out of the race. That is out of the Ford. I think that's out of turn 13 where he was just talking about the track extension. So FA is out of the race. I think he was pushing too hard, and we've got a great battle between Lucas. Lucas is back in front with Crazy Power. Look at this. Lucas is pushing him on. He's not giving him much space. He's just enough, but now Lucas is gone. But look at that. Again, parking the car on the inside there. So Crazy Power is going to have to just tuck in and wait another lap then. So he is now going to harvest this energy throughout the mid. As the FA is left for session, he will get 2 points, but unfortunately he's out of the race. So Crazy Power is not going to harvest, as is Lucas will be harvesting as well, because I don't think that Crazy Power is going to go through that. But look at, he's all over the back of him here. Look at that, he's just pushing him through the corners at the moment. And yeah, been fair, clean racing between all these guys that are remaining. So yeah, it's good stuff to see. And of course, what's the next race after Hungary? I think it's the magnificent Spa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Spa next.
Yeah, so join us
we'll be into the second half of the season.
Excellent stuff. So Spa is next, and I've got to say I'm very biased. I love Spa. My favourite track it is. It's a real man's track, a real driver's track, Spies. As we'll come back to Spa in a minute because we're on board with Slim has gone up the inside of the Gort. The Gort is coming back, and I think these guys know when they're fighting each other because we've both seen both of them. Two positions there. The Gort is still gone back on the inside. Oh, contact! We've had contact. Slim's in the wall. Slim's in the wall. He's in the wall. He's reversing. Is that going to cause? It's caused a bit of problem then between Crazy Power and Lucas, but the Crazy Power's at the fourth. Slim is recovering or trying to. He's damaged his front wing. Oh, and he's damaged it more. He's lost a major part of end plate there. Carton has just gone through as well. That is a big blow for Slim. As Lucas Oil was back to Crazy Power. We unfortunately caught the end of that because we was also watching the battle between Lucas and Carton there. Did you see anything, Carl? Sorry, I might have done whilst I was yapping away.
Yeah, I think Slim was just trying to take the inside line and he understeered wide. Racing incident in my view.
It's a shame, really, isn't it? Do you think he could have waited and have a better chance? Even though I wouldn't say he wasn't really getting many chances. He was quicker in some stages of the track, but he wasn't really all over the back of the Gort, like for example Crazy Power was over Lucas. So do you think he kind of had a now or never kind of moment?
Yeah, I think obviously it went round the outside at turn 1, but I think as soon as Effie started pulling out a little bit more, he should have just backed off but yeah, he's nearly lost it in the pit lane as well now, but it's coming in, but he's going to be kicking himself because he's not capitalised on Vanquish DNF.
No, yeah, and do you think, lovely shot of the Ferrari's rear end there, the mechanic's rear end, and you can see he's changed his front wing, so that's a big blow for car number 4 in the Ferrari. Is that the end of his championship chances, do you reckon?
I don't think it's the end, but I don't see a way back. Obviously you never say never, but I think it's going to be an uphill struggle, and I don't think he will be in contention.
It's a big shame, really, isn't it? Because as we was just saying before that action kicked off, we was in the second half of the season. We were going to Spa, a real driver circuit, and unfortunately, we're already talking about this might be the end of Slim's championship chances. To be honest, we can't rule anyone out just yet, but it's very difficult because Vanquish is kind of robotic-like, isn't it? He's a machine when he's in front. Today he had a bit of an off day, but everyone has a difficult track. Unfortunately, I have 20 out of 21 difficult tracks, but as you can see, Lucas now coming out of turn 1 there. We got a comment on the feed. Hopefully I can see it because my it's playing up. Oh yes, Lennon is saying great job lads, as has Matt as well, so thanks guys, and yeah, really enjoying your company here tonight, and yes, so thanks for that. We appreciate your support as well, and yeah, I'm glad you're joining us, and I'm glad you're enjoying it as well. Shame for Lennon who was out of the race earlier on, but it's good to see that he is still here and still watching this race go on. So that's both Haas out of the race. They haven't had a very good day, the Haas team, and we're on board now with Lucas. He's just on a bit of trouble. Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie's got the gap down to 2.5 seconds as BP's out.
Yeah, BP's spun out of turn 5, I think it was, and damaged his front wing, but then he's just retired and called it a day. I would have kept in the race because this is a track where errors happen. So I would have kept in the race as Slim's get a 3-second penalty there. Sorry, do you want to carry on with what you're saying about Jamie and Samster?
Yeah, Jamie is getting the gap down to 2.5, so I don't know if Sam is what we like to call sandbagging, or if Jamie's got a little more pace on these mediums.
He does have 2 lap fresher medium tyres. Do you think that will make a bit of difference?
I reckon, how old are these tyres? 15 laps, 13 laps. I think Sam's tyres are going to start running up. I'm going to watch him now in the next few corners. Oh. It's serious.
So riding on board with Jamie now, who is second. He's down to 2.5 seconds there. He was up to 2.8 seconds when we first joined him. And you can see it was gone back up to 2.9 now. It's just I say that. So sorry, Jamie, I've commentator cursed you already. And on your first race, and he's second. Well, he's second at one, but he's doing a stunning job. Really good job there for Jamie. He's still very similar to like a Jacques Villeneuve kind of debut here. Obviously, we're in Hungary, and Hungary's a much difficult. Well, is it a much difficult track than Melbourne? I think it is. I prefer Melbourne to Hungary, but Hungary is a great test of your driver ability. This is because you're busy. You're always on the. You're always turning. You're always going left, right. You're always trying to harvest as well. It's a very busy track to do all those things to get the most out of your Formula One car around here. How's Samster looking? Is he does he look calm in there, or is he trying to? Is he just looking a bit ragged at the moment? I'm on board with Jamie.
No,
he looks calm.
He's absolutely calm. There's no sudden steering movements. It's nice and relaxed. I think he's just controlling it and making sure his tyres do last. I mean, we've only got 4 laps left, but it could be interesting. But I think Sam, if Jamie's to get close, I think Sam will respond, but he just needs to keep him out that 1 second.
So Sam is second in the championship now, and I think that this is a big statement for Sam as well. He's drove a peerless race from second on the grid. He passed the pole sitter.
Effie.
Yeah, thanks. That was such a long time ago. He passed the pole sitter Effie off the line in a beautiful launch off the line as well for Sam, because we wasn't expecting that. Well, I certainly wasn't. I was expecting FA to just stay in the lead for a bit and just hold up Samster whilst, no disrespect to FA, but of course he was on the ultra soft tyres, which do not last very long at all. But Sam started a brilliant start, and from then on he's controlled the race. This has been a very old school Ferrari-esque kind of drive from Samster, and he is now going to take the championship charge then to Vanquish. Vanquish doesn't get a point today. Difficult day from Vanquish. Of course, he had a qualifying ban as well, and but what a drive from Samster. Can he now keep the momentum on going into Spa, going into Italy? Can he take the fight to Vanquish? Remember the points is from first down to 10th, and Vanquish is very rare as we've got a yellow flag, and that's Carton who's off. He's facing the wrong way there, coming out of turn 5, but he is 35 seconds in front of Slim, so Carton is in 6th position at the moment. He's lost a lot of time to Lucas now, unfortunately. But yeah, going back to Samster then, so yeah, to be honest, I was listening to the commentary at the beginning of the season, and it's quite a surprise to see Samster up there, wasn't it? Getting the first win in Australia.
Nobody expected it. Obviously, Sam's quite quiet, so there was no like, yeah, I'm going to do this. He just got in the car and did it. So. Ever since that, you can't not contending for a win. He's always there.
I must admit, actually, I think I remember watching the first race, the first ever elite race in Australia, and I think Ferrari had a 1-2 there. It was a brilliant race. They had a great strategy as well, so it wasn't just pure speed, it was also strategy as well that won him. And I think that everyone took notice of Samster, and he's missed a couple of races this year, unfortunately, but just think, but he is still right up there at this moment in time. So I think that a lot of people might be a bit concerned, especially not Force India garage. But as we said before, Vanquish is a very complete driver almost, isn't he? So it's good. I'm really looking forward to the for the battles for the remaining part of the season. Of course, we're in the second half of the season after this. We're in Belgium next week. I'm looking forward to Belgium, as I keep saying. Love it. And yeah, but of course we still got 2 more laps here in Hungary, and it's just over 2 seconds at the moment. Just under 2 seconds now. Samster leads in the Ferrari. Second is the rookie Jamie. Third is the Gort. Fourth is Crazy Power. Fifth is Lucas. Sixth is Carton, and 7th is Slim. Slim is thrown away a golden opportunity today, and I think he's going to be feeling a bit disappointed after today's race, which is a shame really, because up until that point I thought he was driving a very mature race, and but it's so easy to just get it wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, had a brilliant race, but it was just too keen to get that 3rd place, and it just cost them 16 points effectively.
It is. It's a major disappointment, isn't it? And Yeah, I feel for Slim really. I really do. I think he's had a great drive up. He's avoided all the carnage and yeah. But unfortunately, that's motor racing. You win some, you lose some. There's a lot more low days and high days in this game. But when the highs are high, that's why these guys drive for it, because the highs are amazing. As coming out to start the final lap end of the Hungarian Grand Prix, you've got 7 cars remaining out of the 14 who started, so only half the field are left. Kogut out of the race, he called it a day very early on, which is a shame for Kogut because he would be in some points right now if he carried on going. Rocket Tony also called it a day quite early on as well. Geordie and Lennon come together there. I think that might be an investigation, unfortunately, but it was a very frantic battle up until that point. Then we seen Vanquish lose it out of turn 1 and he retired from the race, but he'll get a point. FA also I think lost it. I can't remember where he lost it actually, but yeah, unfortunately FA lost it, and he's the pole sitter is 9th now, and BP lost it coming out of turn 4 as well, damaging his front wing, and also called it a day, but he will get 4 points. So it's Samson now coming around the final time here in Hungary, and look at this, he is looking in firm control. But I think that Jamie's a star for the future. Jamie's definitely running close, and he's only going to get better as well. Jamie is, because remember, he is going to every track, every race, every lap. He's going to learn. And now, as he comes around the final couple of corners, then Samster is going to win at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and this has been an impressive victory for Samster as well. And I'm really looking forward to the second half of the season now. Samster wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Brilliant. Second is Jamie. And Jamie did have a penalty in the end, but that is still an impressive time for Jamie. He is almost 22 seconds in front of the Gort. And that's the Gort is no slouch either in that 3rd position. As the Gort comes around to complete a decent drive. And he gets on the podium as well. So he comes around the final corner now. So this is going to be penalties dependent, but what does the Gort comes through in 3rd. Crazy Power, good drive from Crazy Power up into 4th. Lucas, who looks like he's had a bit of an adventure on the final corner, comes across the line, and he would take 5th, penalties pending. So 5th, and then Carton. Carton's had a very difficult race, and you can see drifting around the final corner there. I think he's still in cards, doesn't he? And a brilliant and a good 6th position for Carton. He's got a 5-second penalty for stop and go. And then there's a huge gap between himself and Slim, who come across the line in 7th position. But remember that is still 6 valuable points for Slim. We were talking about his championship chances towards the end of that race, but yeah, you can't count anyone out just yet. It's still going to be a massive job, but anything can happen. So Slim finishes 7th position in the end. So a very intriguing race that was, and accidents and incidents everywhere, and even the invincible Vanquish seems to have some difficulty in that race, which is very rare to see. So what do you think of that race then, Carl? That was pretty intense, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty good race. I think there's going to be some investigation for the Geordie accident and the Lennon, but yeah, it was unfortunate for Slim, the wing damage, reversing on track. Obviously, you're not technically supposed to do that, that's the rules, but there's no other choice when he's in the wall. But brilliant drive from Sam as always, and a very nice outing for Jamie. So also a brilliant result for the Gort as well. I believe that's his first podium of IRC Elite. So, but I made the point at the beginning about them capitalising in Carton, and Slim just haven't done that. But Sam is still going to be 60 odd points behind Vanquish, but he's done what he needed to do.
He has done indeed, and just completing off the points, we've got BP in 8th, FA in 9th, and Vanquish, of course, in 10th position. But no, I think the Crazy Power has done a great job from 12th on the grid up to 4th, so he might be contending for driver of the day. Slim has just joined us in the party now, so we're just going to go through the race in a minute, as has Samster, of course, our race winner. Brilliant drive from Samster today. Yeah. So excellent stuff today. Carl, do you want to fire away the questions whilst yeah? What's the comments?
I think I'll start with Sam. How was that race for you? Obviously, you got past FV turn 1, and then you kind of had it in control for the rest.
I mean, you could say it was boring maybe, but it went perfectly to plan. I think I made the most of everyone else having quali bans today, or the front runners at least. But I was a bit nervous because that was the first time racing without traction control. So I mean, I was faster in quali, but I was worried if I could keep it together in the race. I had a couple of moments, but it went well.
Now, at the end, was you just managing your tyres, or was Jamie genuinely pulling you in?
No, I was chilling. If I'm honest, I was just trying to make it to the end. I wasn't really managing tyres. I was just being careful not to spin. I knew he had a couple penalties, or maybe one, so it wouldn't have mattered if he caught me, I think.
Great stuff. I wouldn't call that race boring, especially behind you. But I think that was a very well controlled race as well. It looks like that you were. I think it was more like Alan Prost kind of thing, like the Professor, where you just kind of you didn't need to win by 20 odd seconds. You just had to win, cross the line first, and that's all you need to do is get the job done. I think that was a very controlled race there. And your launch off the line was that really? Did you have a really good launch off the line? Because I was expecting FA to have a better launch on the ultra softs.
Again, like I was nervous because traction control starts can be weird, but I normally got quite good starts and it was pretty perfect. I thought he'd got better start on better tyres, but no, getting ahead of him turn one was perfect, and I knew if I could keep him behind for like 3 laps, there'd be a crossover and then I'd pull away, so it went well.
Yeah, I thought that start was peerless. It was a Bottas kind of a start, wasn't it, in Austria? I thought you launched off the line very well. I didn't expect you to come past FA at the to the first corner. Brilliant stuff there. So congratulations, Hamster. Very well a controlled drive. How are you feeling for the second half of the season? Are you able to challenge out Vanquish?
Oh yeah, I feel like I can now. Like, I was already up there. Now if I can sort of, again, I'll get quicker and more certain on this in the next coming weeks. I really enjoyed the pace and quali, but I definitely think I can call back more points.
He's also showed he's human today as well, Vanquish, as he made a mistake and retired. So that's definitely momentum on your side as well.
Yeah, I was so worried that I'd done something because he lost it just as I passed him, and I was like, oh god. But I think he said to me, he just revved it too fast.
Yeah, it looked from us that it might have just been a Vanquish just putting on the power too early. Next stop is Belgium. How are you feeling at that track? Personally, I love it. I think it's more of a driver circuit. Are you usually strong around there?
Again, like I think Spa's more of a wheel track, but so's Hungary, and I've just managed to get a win there. So I mean, I'll just enjoy it. It's a great track. I'll just try and set my car up so that I can go for a rouge, and then I do love that track. Drive it. It's a lot of fun, but it's challenging. It
is, and that's what we like is challenging tracks. But congratulations, Samster! Brilliant win. It was a near perfect performance from yourself. Absolutely amazing. I think Slim's joined us in the party as well. Of course, for a bit of a difficult day for Slim today. He finished in 7th position. How would you sum up that race, Slim?
Well, it was going well from starting with a Q3 bank, which I wasn't into. But I coming through the field and battling with Gort. I was stuck behind him for so many laps, even with DRS. I just couldn't get past him. And then when the opportunity came, I went for it. But then I've just looked there. I locked up my front left tyre, and which then put me into his side and just spun rounds.
Do you feel that at that moment it was kind of like you had to get that move done there, or you wouldn't have got it, or you wouldn't have had another chance? Is that what you felt like when you was trying to go on the inside into turn 2?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I was stuck behind him for so long. I mean, if I didn't go for the move there and then, I would have been stuck behind him probably to the end of the race. So it was if I had to make the move there, well, I had to make the move there. Otherwise, I don't feel I would have had another go.
It's a shame. It was a shame, really, because up until that point, I was definitely thinking that you was definitely contender for driver of the day, because it was a very controlled race as well. You was patient and you was getting the job done and just kind of making your way slowly up into 4th. And I felt we did feel so good for you in the comms box here. But it's a shame, really. Do you feel in the terms of the championship, are you still able to fight? Are you still there or thereabouts? Do you feel, or do you think that this might be the end of the road?
Well, I mean, in the championship, it's never done till the final race in Abu Dhabi. But at this point, I'm not really too fussed about it. I'm just enjoying the racing. Britain's a good example of how good the racing can be. So I'm just looking for the racing, how good it can be, improving it, and just overall just trying to improve everything really.
Perfect answer. I love it. And let's just touch on the Spa track, because that's our next race next Wednesday, everyone. So join us at the same time for the elite guys. Of course, tomorrow is the super guys. We'll have a plug in before we leave. So what do you reckon about Spa? Do you enjoy that
It's
track?
fantastic track. Oh, it's a great track. Long and difficult, especially to maintain concentration for so long during the race. But it's a great track, especially like Eau Rouge, following through there and then trying to get alongside for a move. Just great fun, especially if you're going side by side into some unorthodox places like I can't remember the name of the corner. Puan, I think it is, the left-hander in the middle sector.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it can fill up some really good racing.
Brilliant. So remember, Spa is in next week, same time, Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock we kick off. Of course, tomorrow we will join the Super Boys, where we'll be going around Hungary for 35 more laps, and we're looking forward to that. But yeah, join us tomorrow, and thank you for joining us tonight. See you next week. See you tomorrow.